Morning, Ron here from Enviroline. I'll be going through the S-Line water jets, startup and running procedures. Okay, so just a quick rundown on the S-Lines in general. Obviously, you've got your high pressure reel, your low pressure reel for feeding the water into your main tank. They come standard with a e-stop. As well, on the opposite side, which we'll show you, is a battery isolator to shut the power off to the unit when it's in storage. Moving through the machine, obviously the engine has an oil dipstick which you want to check regularly to make sure the oil levels are correct. The Honda engines do have an oil shutdown alert, so if the oil is low, the machine will actually shut down and prevent you from starting it. It also indicates it with a red light indicator on the main ignition panel, which is down here. That'll light up once it indicates low oil and also low water. Right, so on the same unit again, we have obviously a pump and gearbox, which obviously delivers the pressure through the unit. We have the gearbox, again, it's got sight glasses along with the pump to indicate the oil levels. Obviously, you don't want that to drop down below anything further than the mid-range. If it does, it just needs to be topped up with something like 15W40 engine oil. Coming to the back of the unit, we have a couple of things. Obviously, we've got a water filter, which on a regular basis you want to check and drain the water from, as well as make sure your filters are clean. That'll certainly help the machine run at its optimum. Obviously, your battery's located to the rear. Okay, on the opposite side of the machine, we have obviously the brass pump head, which it shows a safety valve designed, the unloader valve, which is what produces the pressure of our machines. They are factory set, so you don't want to be playing around with those settings. On the opposite side of that is a safety valve, and that's designed if the pump is overpressurized, it relieves the pressure to protect your pump and the operation of the machine in general. As we're working along, obviously, back to the engine, oil filter stock standard. This engine is an EFI, so it's electronically fuel controlled, so it's crucial that the engine is running for a period of time to be able to keep that battery charged. Otherwise, what can happen is that the power from the battery can cause issues with the engine in ways of starting and just general running. So obviously you've got your water tank, which is where obviously from your mains fills the tank, which delivers obviously through your pump system, through the high pressure hoses, through your high pressure hose reel, then through the mini reel and heads, etc. The fuel tank, with this fuel tank, they have a breather valve on the top, which must be open when you operate, and also a fuel tap. Turn that on to allow the fuel to flow. And as mentioned at the start of the introduction, we have a battery isolator, and that's obviously to stop your power running through the unit when not in use, and it's just simply rotate on and off. Okay, and then we have on our main high pressure reel, we have a ball valve for on and off water flow, the pressure gauge obviously, and one of the crucial things with these units, or all our units, is when you start them, always keep that valve open to allow flow. By shutting it off, what can happen is it can create a load on the engine, which tends to make it sound like it's got a flat battery, and it can be misleading to the operator. Assuming their battery's flat, they'll pack up, go and get a battery, and all it was simply the valve not open. Okay, so what we're going to do now is get the machine up and running, so I'll go through the quick procedure for that. One of the crucial things is always making sure you've got your high pressure isolated and secured, because you don't want to start it without this being secured. It could cause you a bit of grief, so make sure you connect your high pressure up, as well as obviously your low water feed, to be able to produce the pressure through your machine. So I'm going to go through that right now, and I'm just going to hook it up and start the starting procedure. Okay, so what we're going to do is hook this up to run a starting procedure, but just quickly, just to let you know, this high pressure hose can be used in two ways. It can either be connected to a mini reel, which will be shown in a separate video, or you can attach your heads directly to this, and that varies as to which head and so forth. But like I said, this will come through on a second video that will explain this. Right, just for safety purposes, we're going to be connecting up through our test unit. So this will just be able to go through the procedure of how the machine starts and runs. So going through that, I'm just going to connect it up now. So in essence, this could be a mini reel or your head that you're attaching it to. As I said, I'm using a test bed, so this is what I'm using. And there are safety restraints on these. It's crucial to either, on the mini reel itself, it has a little locating bracket. You'll want to clip that on. So what I'm doing here is clipping it onto my version of it. And that'll prevent, if the hose ever pops off, it secures it so it doesn't swing around and possibly injure somebody. So that's what I'm doing there. The low pressure feed, again, this would normally be your house tap feeds, and it's simply clip on and you're good to go. So I'm just going to turn on the water to get water flowing through into our tank. Until the tank is full of water, the unit will not start. It will turn over but will not fire. It's got a certain switch in it that allows it to start and stop when there's no water. So I'm just going to do that now. So as mentioned, before I started, I need to make sure, one, the high pressure hose is isolated, and two, that the bore valve is in the open position to allow water flow. So that's just one of those things you need to make sure you do before you start our machines. Again, just going over it, make sure your breather valve on your fuel tank is open and the fuel tap is in the on position. So now that we're happy that we've got water in our tank, and I have actually prior already fueled it, so it has got fuel in it. Just a couple of small things. Make sure your e-stop is in the outwards position, because if it's in, again, the unit will not fire. So just make sure you clip it out and it's ready to go. So from there, I've now got water in my tank. I've secured, and my high pressure line is ready to go. So from here, it's quite simple. What we've got to do is turn the isolator on. What we've got to do is turn the isolator on. That allows the power through the unit to be activated. Now I can go around to the ignition barrel on the front of the engine. Okay, again, throttle control. I put it at full rev. Turn your key to the on position. Turn to fire. So the e-stop shuts your unit down in case of an emergency, or in general you can use it just to even turn it off. But it's crucial again with these engines that you remember, if you shut it off from this, that you also turn your key off. What is common is the guys leave the key in the on position. When they go to use it next, they end up with a flat battery. So e-stop out, full rev. I can then start it again. On, start. Or just turn it off by the key, either. So generally after your operation, what you want to do is always make sure your filter is clean. It's not showing signs of debris inside it. That will obviously affect the operation of your machine. So just quickly, again, we've mentioned it, but here's your filter. Just undo the screw to drain. But as you can see, also you can see if you've got any foreign material in there. That's where you want to take it off and give it a clean. It also allows you to drain your tank. So just remember that. So that's a quick rundown on the starting procedure of your machine and just general hookup. If you have any further questions, you can get in contact with us here at Enviroline,